Yes, a few days ago, we saw on television where the so-called peace committee headed by Abdulsalami Abubakar was holding another round of peace accord signing with the presidential candidates for the 2023 election. And we begin to ask ourselves, what manner of unthinking people could this be? That Abdulsalami Abubakar is, and his co-travelers in that peace-building initiative around the elections will be trying to build their peace on the foundation of injustice. Abdulsalami Abubakar is building peace. Abdulsalami Abubakar and Matthew Kuka and all of those in that committee trying to build peace on a foundation of injustice. And they're signing peace accord. They've signed the first one. They went again to the UN, some fellow from Burundi, Giovanni Biha. They say Deputy Special Representative of UN Secretary General for West African Office. It's nauseating to see that people consciously insulting the sensibilities and intelligence of other people. You have a constitution that is the problem, which Justice Chukwudifio Puta had described as, structural injustice.
What he's saying is relevant, but not in this case. It's relevant when we talk, I don't know when you were there, when we talk about systems.
Yes, my lord. If I may say something, my lord, with the greatest respect to my lord.
Hold it. I haven't even known what I'm talking about.
I know, okay.
That most of our headache is in the system.
Yes, my lord. And if I may go further.
And then, well, we may explore that later on when we have this special hearing.
As the court pleases, as the commission pleases. My lord will even know more when we discuss this exhibit. The most important thing, my lord, is that some people appear to be too decent for this generation.
Structural, the word is structural injustice.
Yes, my lord.
I asked you people to make their research. I'm conducting mine, and I want to compare your investigations and research with mine. Structural injustice. The headache we have is structural.
Yes, my lord.
And in the system itself.
Yes, my lord.
Men will come and go, the system still
remains. Yes, my lord.
The killings happening in Nigeria, the violence happening in Nigeria, the poverty growing in Nigeria, the corruption, mounting in Nigeria, the impunity, spread all over Nigeria, flowing from that constitution. And so you every 4 years you go to election, and the situation, if you were to plot a graph of how things have gone since 1999, you will see that Nigeria has been plunging, right down the abyss. And Abdulsalami Abubakar, that is central to creating that problem, is the one that will be chairman of the peace committee that will ensure that peace reigns in Nigeria on a foundation of just injustice, on a foundation of injustice, constitutional injustice that is not going away except it's resolved. And then Matthew Kuka, Bishop of Sokoto, will come and bring the name of the church, bring the name of the Christian community in Nigeria into that exercise in futility, into that exercise that amounts to siding with evil against good, siding with injustice against justice, siding with darkness in a competition against light, siding with falsehood in contest against truth. The truth is that we never made any constitution. The falsehood is that we, the people, made the constitution that is the source of this problem. And so, the people who are going to sign, they sign the first one, they sign the second one with the UN representative of Giovanni Biha, whatever she's called, from Burundi. And now they've gathered again to sign, even, a third time. No amount of peace accord is going to address the question of the constitutional injustice that is responsible for the violence that comes from every election, because the Constitution of Nigeria confiscates the assets of Nigeria from the owners and puts into the hands of an illicit federal government that then begin to dispense it, most of it ending in corruption. Those in government house are growing in leaps and bounds in terms of the wealth they accumulate for themselves. Look at the candidates that are contesting to be president, where they're coming from, and where their monies came from. Whereas the poverty among the masses have been growing in leaps and bounds, so that Nigeria has become the poverty capital of the world. And then there's violence all over the place. Whether you're looking at the agitations across the regions, or you're looking at all other forms of resistance, you know, is flowing from that injustice that is flowing from that constitution. And so instead of addressing that, Abdulsalami Abubakar has not lifted a finger towards addressing that problem, and he wants to be seen as a statesman. The treason of imposing the constitution that is now the source of these problems is still standing out there. Then Matthew Kuka will come and bring the garment of the church on top of that evil. And they are signing accord to build peace on a foundation of injustice. Nobody is deceived. Even if they sign 20 times before the date of the election, what will happen to Nigeria will happen on account of the refusal to speak the truth, on account of our refusal to acknowledge what is wrong. When the snap will happen, no amount of wishing away will address it. That snap will come. I'm sure we remember the UN rapporteur mission that came in 2019, led by Agnes Callamard, that said that Nigeria's constitutional arrangement is like pressure cooker for injustice. While they were investigating the extrajudicial killings happening all over Nigeria, police killing, army killing, Boko Haram killing, Fulani Herdsman killing, Biafra agitators killing, kidnapper killing. And so all of those things are flowing from one source, the unworkable unitary constitutional arrangement of Nigeria, imposed by Abdulsalami Abubakar and his co-travelers in the class of 66. And all the efforts made to solve this problem have been sabotaged by this same set of people. What does the church in Nigeria say? What does the Catholic Church in Nigeria say about Bishop Kuka's involvement in that support for falsehood, in that support for darkness in contest with light? We may all pretend, but the consequences will come. And when it does come, let it be on record that it was spoken out about, it was pointed out repeatedly, but that those who have decided to be on the side of darkness have chosen to carry on the way they are carrying on. It will be reckoned in human blood when it goes bad. Because that UN report I was talking about said that Nigeria under that constitution is bound to snap, and that Nigeria has become a danger to the global community, the danger to the security of the global community. Because if Nigeria of 200 million people will snap, then those 200 million people will be looking for refuge. At a time, the terror networks of the world are converged in Nigeria. The earlier we come down from our high horses, especially in stupidity, to examine these issues, election is like carrying fuel to low-intensity fire. Nigeria is already on fire. Whether we're looking at the economy, or we're looking at the security, or we're looking at the infrastructure, or we're looking at just every positive, human development index. For those who are advertising how they are going to improve on human development index, that constitution is guaranteed that nothing will be improved, no matter how well-intentioned. You can't leave the tap on and expect that mopping is the solution when there's an alternative available to turn off the tap. Nobody's deceived. I say again, Nigeria will snap just because Abdulsalami Abubakar and his co-travelers are refusing to listen. And the political parties, all of them without exception, all the political parties that are willing to contest election under the 1999 Constitution are holding hands with this evil. They are singing from the same hymn book. PDP, APC, Labour Party, whoever, Kwankwaso's NNP, whatever they call them, all of them subscribe to that constitution that is the source of this misery we are trying to, resolve. The source of this failed union, this failed society. A word should be enough for the wise. Let us stop this journey to this election before Nigeria goes up in smoke. We saw it happen in the period 60 to 62 that became 1966. We saw it happen in 1993 that consumed Abiola and all of those who got killed. We are about to see it happen again. And those who are old enough, those who are witness to what happened, are pretending all around it. We will be here when it snaps. But let nobody try to pretend that they tried their best. No. Election is not the answer to the situation of Nigeria right now. The answer is in going to transition to ease out that constitution that is the source of the problem. Every other thing will fail. And every day we postpone it, we are only increasing the cost in blood for our collective refusal to speak the truth. We stop there.